Got an LG multi-V5 that's got a CH1-50, or in this case they swapped the numbers, but your single digit is always going to refer to your unit, and then the double digits are going to be the code. So phase loss may just be something boring. We'll check it out. Could be a glitch. Well, I checked all three ways and I've got power. Now there's two ways to reset this unit. I can kill power, but I can also just hit this switch. And as you can see, it just killed power to everything. You might have heard the solenoids de-energize, but it's just a fast way of rebooting it. All right, let's see what happens. Here's something kind of crazy. Am I just blind, or do some of these disconnects not have a way to open them when they're on? That is a huge pet peeve of mine, but I believe this one, this model, like, there's nothing, which is crazy. You know, I just wanted to get in here and check the connections to see if anything was loose, but now I gotta shut down power. That's unbelievable, because sometimes, depending on what you're diagnosing, like, you don't want to kill power. Like, you need that thing to be live. This looks like some discoloration there. I don't think anything's letting out the magic smoke, but I'm gonna have to modify this baby to make that accessible. Got this little York right here that serves the coil in the makeup air unit, but it's been running forever without the evaporator fan. Now, stick your face over here. Doesn't feel unusual. So in that case, I'm guessing that, you know, it's not the head pressure control. It's probably low on gas. It's just not able to build up the pressure. I don't even know if, yeah, definitely feels low. I think, let's see here. What's going on here? Yeah, this is like a hot gas bypass, which is hot right now because my guess is it's trying to keep up the evaporator pressure, but it doesn't feel like it's cooling. Yeah, I just don't feel like it's doing much. Well, we'll have to get into that too, I guess. All right, she's back up and running, kind of like I expected. It's just a glitch. I really like these core depressors. This one is the no loss, and I've just got that, you know, if I'm moving from like unit to unit, then I can prevent the loss of refrigerant. In other words, because this doesn't have a valve, I'm not going to have to bleed air out of my gauges every time I hook up. I just trap it in there. I always run the liquid back into the suction side. You know, never just blast the liquid out of your gauges if you can help it. It's, you know, it does over time lower the refrigerant. It's not good for the environment, etc. Let's see what else here. I've got this chain here. Sometimes I'm you know, taking on and off my yellow hose, using it for different things, and instead of attaching it up there the whole time, I'll just hook it somewhere, like up in there. I keep the probe just pinned back in here for outdoor air. This right here on the back, let me show you. This is a muffler to let the nitrogen out. I've showed that before. It just helps. Now this is an interesting little setup here, but what it is, so if you need to hook it on something high, you can go up there like that, or you can take this off the hook, and then you've got the full length and you can go up really high. So sometimes, you know, it really just depends on the unit, but it can be helpful to have multiple ways to attach your gauge. There's a couple, and I like using colored tape because these are easy to mix up when you have them off, and it gets a bit chaotic. And if you ever do swap these, it can throw you for a loop, especially depending on how the unit is running. It can really make you think some weird stuff's going on. So let's get connected here and see what we got. All right, got the high side on. Now, I've got the manifold gauge completely shut down, and there I am. Okay, must be bleeding through a little bit. Not sure what that's about. But one thing I want to do here, and you know, it's a misconception that you need to back these valves out all the way. You do if you're pulling vacuum, but like just with refrigerant, you really don't need much. I mean, that's enough. See that? Just went crazy. So all I'm doing is purging the air out of this, and then I will obviously isolate those hoses as I connect up there so we can get a true reading. Now that's pretty decent head pressure. I mean, I don't know what this switch is set for. Maybe it's set for 350 or something. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on there. Yeah, she's looking low. So anytime your subcooling drops out, you want to make sure that you have the corresponding superheat, because otherwise you could have like a TXV problem, or you know, something like that. Now, when I said it wasn't as low as I thought, I had forgotten that this thing has a hot gas bypass. So what it's probably doing is artificially keeping this high. Well, keeping this high, which will keep that high. You know, it's really when your suction pressure drops out that you're unable to maintain the head pressure. So she definitely needs some gas when I start adding. It might have a leak or something, but I got this recovered refrigerant that I know is good, so I'm just adding that. Kind of wish I had a scale up here to see what's going on, but basically, you know, just adding a little bit at a time. You are supposed to throttle it quite a bit, but in my experience, it's normally not that big of a deal to add a pound or more at a time. Something going on here weird with the subcooling. It's hard to say. It looks like some controls are starting to take effect. That cut on for a minute. The hot gas bypass might have cut out for a while. So really we just need to let stuff stabilize, keep adding. All right, my fan's running now. I don't honestly know what this switch was set for. It's kind of weird though, the head pressure hasn't changed much, and I would assume that it would be running the fan when I hooked up. That's really hard to say. Maybe it was just right at the limit. I don't know. This is a straight AC, so I don't mind having a little bit higher than normal subcooling. I'm trying to bring the superheat down a bit, but to be honest, because this is a makeup air unit and it probably is bringing in some warm air, I'm not gonna over analyze that too much, but doing a lot better now, so I think we'll leave it there. I mean, you only polish a turd so much, right? So let me show you how to disconnect everything. I'm gonna open this up, and I'm going to close this down, and then we're gonna take that liquid and just run it back into the suction until it's gone. Okay. All right, and you know, one little tip with these is that when they're under pressure, it's pretty hard to unscrew them. So you're better off taking off this low side and just vent your gauge out so you're at 0. And then you can get in here and unscrew that a lot easier. But these get kind of stiff, and you know, to be honest, it's a little hard holding the camera. It's normally not a problem, but yeah. Oh, that's right. With these that back seat too, you want to kind of crack it open to release the pressure that's in here. It makes the threads harder, so I normally crack it back, not enough to depress that stem, just enough to vent off that little bit of pressure that's trapped in there. It makes it a lot easier.